Hi, I'm Rogers Redding. I'm the National Coordinator of Football Officials. We're presenting this video as a part of our continuing effort to engage the fans and the media around the football rules, particularly with a focus today on player safety. And in this video, we're going to look at a brand new rule for 2019, namely the illegal blindside block. Now we're going to look at a few plays here in a minute, but first of all, let's understand what we mean by a blindside block. And it's pretty much what you think it is, but let's look at the formal definition of a blindside block as given in the 2019 football rulebook. The definition of a blindside block is given in Rule 237, and if you have a copy of the rulebook, you can look at this on page FR 28. A blindside block is an open field block against an opponent that is initiated from outside the opponent's field of vision or otherwise in such a manner that the opponent cannot reasonably defend himself against the block. So you can see why it's called a blindside block, because it's outside the field of vision of the player being blocked, or in such a manner that he couldn't defend himself anyway, even though it may be directly in front of him, but he's caught by surprise. Now it's really important to understand that not all blindside blocks are illegal. It's not the intent of the rule to completely eliminate blindside blocks. Some are fine, and we'll see a couple of examples where a blindside block is perfectly legal and doesn't put the player being blocked at the risk of injury. So now we're going to show you the rule that defines an illegal blindside block. And this is Rule 9.1.18. And again, if you have your rule book, it's on page FR 94. No player shall deliver a blindside block by attacking an opponent with forcible contact. Also, if this action meets all the elements of targeting, it is a blindside block with targeting. Now the words are very carefully chosen here, and the key words are attacking and forcible contact. That's what characterizes an illegal blindside block as distinct from a blindside block that does not have the blocker in an attack mode making forcible contact. Well, let's look at a few plays. On this first play, this is a return of a kick, and you can see that there's a couple of blindside blocks at about the 35-yard line on this kick return. You get a couple of looks at these, and in each case, there's forcible contact, the player's in an attack mode, and he hits the opponent from the blind side. So by definition, that's going to be an illegal blindside block in 2019. This block was legal in previous years, but starting in 2019, it is a foul. This next play shows an example of a legal blindside block. In fact, there's two blindside blocks by the same player. And notice all he does is basically screen the opponents or make them break stride. He doesn't make much contact at all. And this is a very effective play. It allows the ball carrier to move on down the field. If you think about it, the purpose of the block is to prevent the opponent from making the tackle. This play illustrates very well the effectiveness of a blindside block that is perfectly legal. The term open field is a part of the definition of the blindside block, and sometimes a question arises as to what open field means. Here's a play where the receiver to the wide side of the formation gets a running start and comes across and blocks from the side against the linebacker. This is an illegal blindside block. It is open field in the sense that he's had a chance to get a running start, and he does attack with forcible contact from the blind side. So this would be a foul under the new rule for an illegal blindside block. This last play gives us an example of an illegal blindside block with targeting. A player who receives a blindside block is by definition a defenseless player, which means that you possibly could have a targeting foul, and that's what we're going to see in this play. You're going to see number 1 in the blue jerseys come across and strike an opponent by launching and driving his headgear from the blind side into the headgear, the head and neck area of the opponent. So this is a blindside block with targeting, and this player would be disqualified from the game. Now this play was confirmed by instant replay, and the player was disqualified from the game. If you have a blindside block with targeting and the instant replay official overturns the targeting part, the 15-yard penalty for the blindside block would still be enforced. And the key thing to listen for is a referee's announcement. If he says blindside block with targeting, that means that you have the blindside block foul, accompanied by a targeting foul, and the targeting part, of course, will go to review as it always does. Well, that's it for this video. My hope is that we've given you some insight into this important rule change, the illegal blindside block. College football is celebrating its 150th anniversary in 2019, and I hope everyone has a great season.